Hello and welcome. Thank you so much for joining me today. My name's Heather and I'm a Songbird Stamper, and I'm here today with another project for my kind of run up to Christmas. This is, I made one of these years ago, before I was blogging, before I was YouTubing, before I was sharing. Absolutely love this project, and it's a sliding door easel, although I've eaten some of the chocolates, so you'll have to excuse me. It does fit 6, but I ate some, so we only have 3. It's a sliding drawer easel card, and that sits up there like that. This one here I've made in the Elegantly Said papers, with black and gold and white and heat embossing, and love how that turned out. You could put a thumbnail in that drawer, but actually you can get your finger in there quite easily, so I haven't done. It just added another layer of complexity, and put a gap on the front, which I didn't really fancy. So I'm going to show you how to make that one today. Not in these papers though, I've got a different style. This would be perfect for Christmas, and I will probably get this filled with chocolates and give this away as a gift. But I'm going to make one today for a birthday using the gorgeous Expressions in Ink paper. I've just got this little bit of pink and pale papaya and shaded spruce papers that we're going to make that with today. So the box itself, or the project itself, it's got quite a lot of components. All the measurements are going to be over on my blog, so please do check out my blog. That's just there, and don't worry about scribbling them down now. We'll make it as we go. You can go and check out the measurements. Link will be in the description below, so you can find that nice and easily. So we need to start with, let's start with this piece of card. This is to make the box with the bit that slides out, the bit that holds the Ferrero Rochers. Or you could fill it with anything you fancy. And now this is 14 centimetres by 17.5, and we're going to score it on all 4 sides at 3.5 centimetres. I'm just using this right hand section. I love the Stampin' Up trimmer for this. Love it, but it has those measurements on the right hand side just because it makes everything so much easier. I'm not even sure if you can see. Is that in the screen? In shot? There we go. So 3.5 just on the right hand side there, on all 4 sides. I'll do all the scoring in one go just because it makes it easier for me. This is then the outer cover, this rectangular piece, and this is 25.7 by 14.4, and we're going to score it on the short side. So this is the short side at 3.7. So again, I'm just using that area on the right hand side at 3.7, and then I'm going to score it on the long side, bring out the extending arm at 3.7, 11, 14.7. I get a lot of questions about whether I work in metric as well, and this is at 22 centimetres. Sorry, as in imperial as well as metric, and I just choose the most appropriate measurement. I use 2 measurements, inches and metric. So some of my projects are in metric, some are imperial. It depends how I feel on the day. It depends what the project is and how precise the measurements need to be. But I don't convert yet, so my apologies for anybody who wanted converted projects. I don't have time to make it twice, and sometimes it's not as easy as just converting. If it was, you guys could do it yourself. There's conversions online, so if it's a simple project, you can convert using kind of Google, just chuck it in. But sometimes the project needs designing twice, and I just don't have time for that, I'm afraid. So this is going to be our easel section. This is going to create the easel that flips up and holds up there, and this is 7.3 by 21.4, and we're going to score it in half at 10.7. So 10.7, and that there should be all the scoring. So this box we're going to fold and burnish. This is the base. Fold and burnish all of these score lines. And then I'm going to cut and notch to make flaps, just like that. Spin it round, cut and then just notch that. Just makes it easier when you're making your box up. Don't get rucks of cardstock. Just makes it fit easier. Oops. Exuberant with my cutting there, but I'm sure that'll be fine. Cut and notch. And you can use whichever glue you want. We've got the Stamp and Seal Plus. It's a really, really good box making tape runner. Or you could use tear and tape, or you can use multi-purpose liquid glue. Oops, I'm sticking to my fluffy jumper. It's a bit chilly again today. So I'm just dressed up nice and warm. I'll try not to wear the same jumper all the time. I do once I find clothes that I like, I do have a habit of wearing them constantly, but I will endeavour not to on my videos, so that you don't have to see me wearing the same clothes all the time. And then just make that into a box. So you're just lining up that edge and that edge. Line up the two edges and press that nicely closed. Oh, excuse me. And that there is our box. So then we can make our outer casing for our box. And we're going to fold and burnish all the score lines again. Again, the measurements for this are all going to be on the blog, and what I'll do in Paint is create a diagram to show you what it should look like as well. So you'll be able to look at the template. Because this is such a lovely project. You might want to make these over and over again. And this is going to, these two bits here, these two sections, we're going to notch those. And I'm going to notch both sides. Oh. It's a bit of a weird case, this one, because it's going to have an open front on one end where the boxes are hopefully going to fit. I'm hoping I've got these measurements right. And then this flap here, this edge one, is going to come off completely straight. So just going to cut down that score line and then cut down that one as well. And then what's going to happen is they're going to fold in. That's going to fold onto there. So you need to be careful because we've notched both sides. The only side that you want to line up against is this edge here. Don't try and line the top up because you've cut a section off. I hope that makes sense. And that's going to come down like that, over like that, and then that's going to be the box. So I'm going to glue that closed, and I'm going to start with this side. So I'm going to put some tape on here. And then fold that over and closed, and then you can close this in however you choose to, really. You can put both flaps in first, then that one, then that one. That's how I'm going to do it. Because like I say, you don't really, it's not going to have any action, so it doesn't matter how you kind of close that up. It's not holding any weight either, so it's just like that. And then the box should fit neatly in there. Like I say, you could now notch the front and do it that way, and then cut a notch in all your pattern paper as well, and all your mats and layers. I personally think you can open this, there's enough room, you can open this fairly easily, like that. So that's our kind of matchbox, I suppose, if you want to look at it like that. And then we've got our lid here. And we're going to need to score this another score line as well. I need to fold this in half. So fold that in half once. then I need to know what half of 10.7 is, so that's 5.35. So I need to measure 5.35. Like that. And then I've got this one here, which is 10.7 by 7.3. And that's going to glue straight onto that piece there. So I'm going to do that now. I'm going to stick that on and just glue on this bottom flap, this bottom section. If you glue on any more, then and it's no good gluing on here because you don't know where halfway is. So always just glue on that bottom section. And there's your easel. They're really quick and easy to make when you know how. And then we can just decorate the whole thing. So that can stick straight onto there if you wanted to. You could decorate it first, or you could decorate it on the box, entirely up to you. I'm going to decorate it first. And on the bottom is going to go my piece of gold foil and my white mat. Now I'm just going to stamp something on the bottom of this white mat first, and the reason for that is because this is a lot of card to waste if I get my stamping wrong. So I am going to stamp first, and I've got a stamp here that says friends like you mean more every year. This is for somebody's birthday. I don't know whose yet, but somebody might get this next year. And I'm just going to stamp that right at the bottom and try and be as straight as I can. Friends like you mean more every year. And that's in polished pink. And that then can go straight onto our gold foil. Beautiful, beautiful day outside today. I went for a walk this morning with friends, which was lovely. Around the pond, saw all the swans, fed the ducks. Oh, it was gorgeous, gorgeous. And that's going to go straight on there like that. Pale papaya and polished pink work so well together. Real fresh colours. Okay, and then to decorate the top, I've got a piece of the designer series paper. All these mats and layer measurements are going to be on the website as well, but I will tell you now. So the gold mats are 10.4 by 3.3, and no, that's wrong. The gold mats here are 6.9 by 10.3. 6.9 by 10.3, and the white layer and the DSP layer 6.5 by 9.9. But honestly, you just go to the website, all the measurements are going to be there. It's going to be so much easier for you. And that's going to glue down straight onto this piece here. And then that can go on the front like that. Those colours just look gorgeous. Gorgeous. Okay. Now I've got a shape to decorate the front of this. I've got some dies, and these are the Hippo Happiness dies, and I've cut one out of basic white, one out of polished pink, and I've got a gold piece, and I want to show you how I'm going to create a layer, because those two, whilst they do layer, it'd be nice to have something in between that. So I am going to stick this onto the gold. Just going to go all the way to the edges, stick that down. And then I'm going to use my scissors. Make sure that's stuck down and it's kind of not moving around. If that's moving around while you're trying to cut, that's going to be a bit of a nightmare. And then I'm just going to use my scissors to cut as even a border as I can. around the edge. Notice I'm not using my Stampin' Up snips for this because some of these are quite long, these long edges, and it's just much easier to try and get a straight line. Not sure how good a job I'm doing of that, but with a bigger pair of scissors. There you go. I think that's good enough, personally. You could do a smaller border, you could do a bigger border, but I think that looks nice, and that's going to fit neatly on there. Just like that. And that's going to stick straight on. You could use dimensionals if you wanted to and lift that off. I mean, it feels a real shame that I'm covering up that pattern paper, but sometimes it's just got to be done. So that's going to stick on there like that. And then I've got a gorgeous stamp set. I haven't used the Expressions in Ink stamp set. I have used the Art Gallery stamp set to make myself a little topper like this, and I'm going to show you how to do that. So I've got this stamp here. It had a lot of use last year, this stamp, so it's looking a little bit worse for wear. And all I'm going to do is, this is shaded spruce, so I've picked the colours that match the design series paper, and I'm just going to colour in the stalks, so anything that would be kind of green. So there's little green sections in here, one in here, just in there, and in there too. Then I've got my pale papaya, and I'm going to colour in these buds. I think these are little flower buds. And this flower over here I'm going to do in pale papaya as well. This is polished pink, and I'm just going to, when I'm doing this, I'm trying to go in the direction of the petals, so starting at the base and flicking outwards. I don't really know how much difference that makes, but to me, you are going to get some pen lines in. This is a really good way of getting different colour onto the stamps if you wanted a multicolour image. But you do just need to be aware that you can end up with a more textured imprint. It looks beautiful, almost looks watercoloured, but you just be mindful if you're doing big areas. Give it a quick huff, just breathe on that slightly, and then when you stamp that down, you're going to get all those beautiful multicolours come out there. And I've just die cut that with the dies, and then that is going to simply sit on the front of my project there. Again, you could use dimensionals if you wanted to, but I don't want this to be kind of super dimensional. There we go. Now the only other thing that we need to do on here is we need to create an easel stopper. So we need to put something along here that kind of stops the easel. So all I've got is a piece of card, and this is measuring 6.9 by 1.5, and a piece of gold measuring 6.9 by 1.8. Okay, and they're going to marry up like that. And I've just heat embossed Happy Birthday in gold there, and I'll show you how that goes together. So a little bit of glue, or you could use tape runner on the back. And on the back of here, some dimensionals, because it needs to stick up. And that's just going to pop on there like that, and that will prop our easel topper up so that you can see the greeting, and you can see there, and then this is your space for writing underneath, and that can stick straight onto the front of our box. I'm going to decorate the box first though, and I've got gold foil and design series paper in order to do that. I've got 2 pieces measuring 10.4, that's the gold, measuring 10.4 by 3.3, and the DSP layer for that is 10.1 by 3 by 3, 10.1 by 3, and then this piece here is 6.6 by 3.2, and this piece here is 6.3 by 2.9, and they're all just going to layer together. Oh, dropped it. And then this little piece is going to go on the front here. I haven't done one for the back. You could do if you wanted to. That little piece is going to sit on the front like that. Just got a bit of glue on there, surprise, surprise. And then these two are going to go on the sides. Going to take that out and give that a good press down so those ends stick. Sometimes foil is a little bit reluctant to stick. Needs a bit of a helping hand. Using my bone folder to get in there and make sure that's all pressed out. The interior fits in just like that, and then this one can sit on the top. Like I say, sadly I don't have any more sweeties to go in here, but I will have to go and buy some. And this is the kind of thing, if you were making these to go to craft fairs, you wouldn't necessarily have to fill them straight away. You could make them and then you could fill them closer to the time. Again, if you're making them for gift, you could make a load at the beginning of the year and then you'd have them ready to go at people's birthdays. I'm not quite so organised, but there we go. There's our cute little project. Happy birthday, and that says friends like you mean more every year. And then you put your sweeties in there. So there's our two projects, very, very different. One perfect for Christmas, one perfect for birthdays, but both made exactly the same way. So look, think of the possibilities. Well, I hope you enjoyed that today. Thank you so much for joining me. Please don't forget to hit subscribe if you do like my videos. I'll be bringing you more throughout the December and over into the new year as well. I'm going to continue to build my YouTube channel, keep creating videos for you guys. So thanks very much indeed. Please do hit me a like if you liked it, and I'll catch you again next time. Take care. Bye for now.